Hello, everyone. I'm Tina of Tina's Workshop, and it is November 15th, Friday. We are just after 1 p.m., and we've had a lot of rain, but it's beautiful and sunny today. We even had some hail yesterday, and we get a cold rain here. I think I've mentioned that before, so it was kind of chilly, but it really wasn't even that cold. It was like yesterday when I looked, it was like 54 degrees, but it just felt, because the rain itself was so cold, it just makes it feel really cold and damp, of course. Anyway, we got a beautiful sunny day. It's 58 degrees right now. So, I mean, it was 54, 58. It's about the same temperature now that it was yesterday at this time, but it just feels so much warmer. I don't know. I guess I'm weird. Anyway, you can find me in all the usual places: Instagram, TikTok, Ravelry, Facebook, all those things. And there are links for all of that in the description below, including email and snail mail. I am going to go, right into finish. I always go right into finished objects. I'm going right into finished objects, mainly because one is in my hand because it's still wet and I want to go get it out of my hand and I don't want to set it down on anything. So if you remember my goofy little intro that didn't work very well last time, so I kind of liked the spinning at the beginning, which kind of gives me that extra reason to spin. So I've decided I might leave that. But the surprised, thing just didn't work. So you just saw what I'm actually working on currently, which is a Polworth from Into the World. And it's these beautiful colors. And it was called Tickled Pink. And it was from May 2014 because, they send them out every month. So this was actually in some of the fleece I had gotten in one of my very generous loads of things that when people have given me spinning wheels and things like that. So this was one that was given to me. So it's an older one from 2014, but it's a beautiful color and I do have something planned for it. And no, I'm not telling you. You're going to have to wait till after Christmas to find out what I've got planned for some of these things. Anyway, the one I was working on last week at the beginning, it was the Goblin colorway from September, and it's a Jacob fleece. And this is, figure out the best way to do this. So that is how the colorway came out. And I actually really kind of like the way that looks. But, because I can't help myself, again, in one of the more recent acquisitions, there was some bobbins that had things already spun, like this one. This one's beautiful and soft and squishy. I don't know exactly what I'm going to end up doing with this one, but it's really nice. But I don't, when I do get a spinning wheel that has fleece, I like to ply it off and it can be used for something. So there was a couple different bobbins that had come with this one wheel. And so this Jacob is it's not super soft. It might be okay against the skin. But there was another bobbin that had a similar color to this, and it felt about the same. So it's a wool, but I do not know exactly what it is. And I thought, maybe I'll do a 3-ply and use this since it has a similar feel to it, and kind of make a marled yarn. Personally, I think I should have just left it like this. I do really like how this came out. So what I did was I 3-plied And then when I ran out of one bobbin, so I was working off of 3 bobbins. When I ran out of the one bobbin, then I took what I had left from those other 2 bobbins and I chain plied them so they would still be a 3-ply yarn. And then those colors could get used as accent yarns to go with the main yarn. So like if you were doing a hat, you could do, the brim with one of the secondary ones and then do the hat with the main one. But personally, I like how this looks. I'm not a big fan of how my marled came out. So this is the color of the other yarn, and I was having issues. So the spinning wheel that I have right here that I'm using, I really like it, but I'm still getting kind of used to how I'm working it. It's not as free flowing yet as some of my other wheels because I am newer to it. And I'm not a big fan of chain plying anyway. You got to really have a perfect rhythm going. And as usual, between not getting that perfect rhythm and not having the machine wanting to work properly for me, I don't like the way my ply was coming out. Oh, come on. Stop focusing on my face. Focus on the yarn. Right there. So this one bloomed more and it looks a little bit nicer, but this one didn't. But anyway, this was the 3rd color or the 3rd bobbin I was using, and this is what I ended up with. And like I said, this is still drying, so it's kind of wet sitting here. I've got 2. So I don't have them twisted right now because they are still wet. There we go. So this is how it came out with that other color into it. Now, my son thought it looked nice. My husband said he thought it looked nice. I just don't care for it as much. I still think it would be, if say you were doing one of the chickens with it, it would be kind of fun because I like how that marled looked on that. But I personally think I like the way this looked better. I like it looks too muddy to me here, where this you can see the colors a little bit better. So I don't know. Let me know what you think. Okay, I am going to go set this back where it's drying because I can already feel that my pant leg is getting cool from this being still damp. Okay, now that's so yummy. Hot apple cider, which is the powdered one. I like to get the actual bottled when I can, and I didn't have it in the store the other day, so it's the powdered one, which is still good. But I put just a tiny bit of sugar, the hot cider, and then I have a tea bag in here that is a Celestial Seasonings tangerine tea. I usually do like the apple cinnamon one, which is great in here, but I did the tangerine one the other day and I'm totally in love with this. It is so yummy and just, yeah, you got to try it. Okay. And I have my little warming plate so I can keep it warm over here, but I have to remember to take it off sometimes or it gets too hot. Okay, let's see. Notes. What do my notes say? Okay, so that was one finished object for the week. I was trying to get it off because I have a number of things that I'm wanting to spin. And yes, I do have a lot of spinning wheels. I could technically just sit down on another wheel, but This one is set up right here, right by my chair and everything. And otherwise I got to go pull one out and set it up somewhere. Because I don't have a full big workshop like I want yet. Eventually I will, and I could just go sit down at one. But right now, this one is set up and I can just turn and use it. And I can either put something here on my screen and watch a video, or I can look out the window into the yard, and it's very pretty. So I have different things that I'm wanting to get spun up because I'm going to use them for different Christmas gifts and stuff. And that is why I may show you some yarn I'm spinning, but I'm not telling you what I'm doing with it. And then I will fill you in with all that after Christmas. I did work on some mittens this week, and I debated about doing a video on them. And then I debated about just showing them on today's video, finished. And in the end, I ended up just sending them. They were my aunt's wool mittens, 2 pairs, 2 aunts. And they were older mittens. They had been coming apart. And a lot of times, you'll see the visible mending, the darning that gets done. And I didn't want that. I wanted them to look like they did before. I didn't want you to know they had been mended. And there was one part on one of them where it was thinned out. And I wanted to strengthen that because I knew before long that one was going to break. And then there was going to be literally like a hole like this right on the pad of the mitten. And I've had these for a few months, been needing to do them. I keep looking at them. Yes, I need to do this. I need to do this. I thought about spinning some yarn for it because I wanted to have as close to the same color as I could. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to go down to, I thought about going to a regular yarn store. And then I thought, I'm going to go check Joann's because they do have some straight wool yarns. And just see what they have there, because I thought I had seen a color in there that might have worked the one day. So I did. I went down there. And they had the fisherman's wool. Come on, focus. There we go. They had the fisherman's wool. It's 100% wool. Of course, being this type of wool, it just says wool, not what kind of wool. But it's a worsted weight. And it was, let's see, this one is called oatmeal. It was so close to the original color, just a tiny bit lighter. And I'm like, I bet you anything, these mittens were probably about this color when they were new, and where they're so many years old. You pick up, it darkens, whatever. I don't know, just guessing. But it was really, really close. So I did a duplicate stitch on all these areas, and where there was complete holes, I still did that duplicate stitch, but I kind of was having to create the missing stitches as I went. I went down the thumb here. There was some stitches that had spread a little bit and were loose. So I went and I tightened that down. So I went over it again. I went over that pad that was thinning, and then the places where there was actual holes, I went over and filled that in. Did not cut anything from the original mitten. So the pieces that were there were still there. And then when I was done with that, I took my needle, one of my needle felting needles, and I went in, and I have these little pillows that I made that are all wool from an old wool blanket. I think I might have shown them to you before. And I have different sizes, and this one's a tiny one so that if you're making an animal or something, it can go under the arm or whatever. Well, it fit perfectly inside the mitten. So I'd slide it up in the mitten, and then I needle felted those areas, and I could feel it coming together. But because of the fact that it was all wool, it was old wool and new wool, but it was all wool. So, and you can actually felt with acrylic. It's not as easy. I did it on those chickens I showed you last week around the beak. It took a bit more felting to get that bit together, where this took a lot less, but I went through and I felted and I double checked the inside of it then too. And it made such a perfect union, no joke. The only spot that you could kind of see was where I did that large piece on the one mitten here, because it was so much more of the yarn. You could, if you really looked, you could see where the color change was, but the rest of the spots, you could not see where I had mended it. I was very proud of myself. I have mended like that before. I've had people bring me their vintage Christmas stockings to fix and stuff, because it's something that, it's this heirloom and you want to be able to keep it, and you really don't want this big darned thing over it. You want it to look nice and like it did. So that's what I wanted to do with these. These mittens were very special to them, and I wanted them to look like they had. And they both do watch this, so they know exactly what I'm talking about. But why am I saying so much today? I don't feel like I'm usually an person, but I am noticing that in myself. So I am apologizing right now for saying too many times. I'm very proud of myself and how these mittens came out. I think they came out really nice, and hopefully they'll have many years to go with these mittens, whole and everything. I just dropped that in my little garbage can. Good thing I just emptied it. So those got sent off. They got them yesterday. They were very happy with them. And so that was another finished object. Okay. So what I have spent a decent amount of time on this week. Stay. This weekend is our holiday sale for church, and it's our handmade projects with our Presbyterian women, and I lead up the handmade projects. And our whole leadership team has been working really hard on this sale. We have 2 women who do our bake sale portion, and they just bring in all the stuff that people have, set it all up, and it always looks so beautiful, and people go crazy for all of that. And we have a whole bunch of people, not just in our Presbyterian women. So our Presbyterian women we meet Tuesday mornings, and we do a Bible study and everything. And then once a month we do handmade projects, and we're either making things for charities or we're making things for the holiday sale, that then the money that comes in from that goes to these charities. Everything goes out. Nothing stays in. Everything goes out. And so anyway, we do this on Tuesday mornings. There's still a number of people who can't come because they're working, but they will still bring in items for the sale. And I've honestly already set a couple things aside that other people have made that I'm like, oh my gosh, so cute. I need. So I have them set aside in the cupboard at church so that nobody else gets them before I do. But I was working on some things myself for the sale and not feeling like I had made a whole lot. And especially when we were bringing things in the other day that were going out, we were pricing things for the sale. And we had one of the ladies, she's a dentist, and she works full time. She's a very busy woman, has a family and everything. Her kids are grown like mine, but her husband had dropped stuff off, and she'd made some things last year, and he drops off this stuff, and it was like bag after bag after bag. And we're like, how does she find the time to make all this stuff? And the quality and everything's beautiful. And yes, there are 2 things that got set aside from that grouping that I am buying. But you see stuff coming like that, and you're like, how'd she find all the time to do this when I feel like I can't find the time to just do the couple things I'm trying to do in a day? But anyway, that being said, I did some stuff on the laser cutter that is going to go into the sale, and thought I would show you them. So this first one, I actually had made a bunch and threw them all away. So even doing something like this, things can still get messed up. And like I've said before, there's still lots of work that goes into it. But some of the parts were so small. I had shrunk down the original file, and some of those parts were really small and they were breaking off. But also because they were so small, then on the back, it was so charred. And you'll see, even on the backs of some of these, you'll see some charring, but it's not like it was when it was smaller. And I was like, yeah, that's not going to work. So I didn't even try to, because I'll sand some of that charring off. I have a couple here I can show you that I haven't sanded yet, and you can see the difference. But anyway, I threw away probably close to 10 of them because I was like, yeah, no, I'm not selling these to people. So anyway, this is the first one. So cross with the nativity, and it's got this, come on. But these little animals up here, that's what they were literally like breaking off. And there's still some that are pretty small here, but they're not because the backside isn't as charred as it was on the other one, but you can see here even some of that charring. And that's even after I sanded some, but where these are so small too, I didn't want to start pushing too hard. So normally I would clean that a little bit better, but this is how they look when they come off. So these still have, you can see some of the bits that are still in because they didn't cut all the way through. You can see that on the back side here, where it didn't cut all the way through. So the first thing I will do is actually lightly sand there and see if it comes down far enough to where the laser had cut, and then it'll pop out. And if that doesn't work, then I have to take a little tiny sharp knife and try to cut those lines in myself, which can get tricky. But you can see the different, these two actually came out pretty good as far as the charring went on them. But you can also see on the front where the writing is, how it creates this kind of, it's not really a char, but it has created this color from the burning process and the oils that come off of it and stuff. So I sand that down, and then I oiled all these. So these two are some extras. My sister-in-law asked me to make a couple for her. So I have 4 of these that are going to go to church. And then I have 2 of these, and were in 3 parts, and then you glue them together. Aren't they cute? So the camel is on the back one, baby Jesus is in the middle, and then Mary and Joseph are on the front piece. And I've seen people do these where they've either painted different layers or used different woods, and it kind of makes them pop. But I was just using some wood I had here, and I made those ones. And then I did some cutting boards, and I ordered these little bamboo cutting boards at the Dollar Tree because they said none of the stores had them. Then I go in the stores and they all have them. But I had already ordered, and you had to order like a full case of them, so 24 of them. And they're supposed to be getting delivered to the store, and then I go pick it up at the store. And every time I get on to try and see the status, it's still like in process or something. I can't even go on and cancel the order, which is annoying. But I've been going into the stores and they all have the cutting boards. Thankfully, because the sale is Sunday and I still have not gotten the box that I ordered over 2 weeks ago. That being said, be careful if you're ordering things from the Dollar Tree. So luckily I was able to go in and pick these up. I ended up doing 10 little cutting boards. Just fun. I think they're really cute. So this one is a little Thanksgiving. Oh, you know what? I'm going to show you the Christmas ones before the Thanksgiving one. So it makes more sense. My sister-in-law says she doesn't understand the Thanksgiving one. So here is one, Treats for Santa. And these are all, there's a maker space for the laser cutter that I got these patterns from. And so this one actually had said homemade cookies. And I took the homemade off because I know if kids, any of these people's kids are like mine, they would have looked and said, but Mom, it says homemade. We can't put store-bought cookies out. It has to be homemade. So I took homemade off. But then this same person had done, they did one that was a Grinch theme. I see a hair on my microphone. They did one that was a Grinch theme, which was really cute. And then they did one that was a Thanksgiving Charlie Brown theme. The only problem is the Grinch one and the Charlie Brown one, they did not have the files uploaded. So you couldn't download the file. But I really liked the cute Charlie Brown one. It was quite the process. Took me a couple hours to eventually take the image from there so that I could put it here. They also had, so it's a similar thing. I guess I'll just show it to you. So I think it's cute. It's just fun. But theirs said popcorn, toast, and what was the other one? Popcorn, jelly beans. Popcorn, toast, and jelly beans is what theirs said. And I don't know if that was, my kids were really big into the Charlie Brown, and we've watched like all the different ones and multiple times, but I do not remember if the Thanksgiving one had anything to do with popcorn, toast, and jelly beans. If you remember, like, put it in the comments because I'm kind of curious now. But I didn't like the popcorn, toast, and jelly beans. So I changed it and did hot cider and pumpkin pie. And then I was trying to, and some people were telling me, oh, do hot cocoa and then do whipped cream too. And I'm like, but I don't want whipped cream as its separate thing, because this is supposed to be 3 separate items. So, and I really like the hot cider during the fall myself. I think of hot cocoa more with Christmas, I think, than fall. But anyway, I had in my head cranberries because I love cranberries. So in my head, I was thinking cranberries, but I'm like, oh, some people aren't going to be like me when it comes to cranberries. I just couldn't think of anything for the third one. I kept asking people. And then I asked my husband, and he's like, cranberries? And let me tell you, he's the only time he eats cranberries is the jellied cranberries from the can, and he eats them with his mashed potatoes for Thanksgiving. Otherwise, he's not touching anything cranberry. So it kind of surprised me when he said it, but he was like, cranberries? And I was like, okay, I was thinking cranberries too, so it is now going to be cranberries. So that's what I put on it, was cranberries. I just thought it was cute. Then I did do one other Christmas one that I had seen, and it's slightly different, just a little bit more elegant, I guess you could say. And I like it's your snacks instead of cookies, and then the reindeer carrots. So I thought that one was really cute. So I did 3 of the first one, 3 of the second one. I did 2 of that one, and then I did 1 each of these. I thought that was really kind of pretty. I have a friend that would love that one. And this one I just thought was so cute. I love the little Highland cows. They are absolutely adorable. So I'm bringing that stuff to our sale. And I did have some other things I had made that were already there, but this was some stuff I was trying to work on now. Like I said, I was waiting for the stuff to come in from the Dollar Tree, and it's still not here. So, okay. That is finished. That was like really long. Where am I at time-wise here? I'm just kind of curious now. Where's my... There it is. I just spent a half hour on my finished objects. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, let's see if we can get through the other stuff a little faster. Works in progress, of course, Musselboro. Actually, I actually grabbed the bag, though I'm not using it. It just has everything in it. But what's funny is I keep saying, oh, I don't have the yarn ball band to show you because I didn't have the bag, which happens to be Happy Mermaid Yarn Company. The ball band wasn't in here. I found the ball band the other day. I just went and grabbed this, but I had found the ball band the other day. For some reason, I have no idea why, the ball band was in my son's bedroom that I'm making the hat for. I have no clue why. I really thought it was in that bag. I have no clue why it was up there. So I actually can show you the ball band this time. Weird Sisters. I always say I can't remember the name of it. It's Black as Midnight, Black as Pitch. So it is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. And I have not gotten very far in it. That's where I was, and that's how much I've done. Like I said, I take this with me and I work it because it stays in my purse. But I have had other projects I've been taking with me, trying to work on too, like Wonderland Yarns. So I told you last week that the Wonderland Yarns had come in. And the crochet square has been out. I got that one done and then was waiting on the knit square. That pattern finally came out the day before yesterday. Actually, it was like the night before that. So I was working on that. This is not the only video I'm planning to record today. I'm planning to record a total of 3 videos. You guys are actually going to get a bonus video this week. But Wonderland Yarns needs to come out on Wednesday. And I stayed up till 1:30 in the morning to finish this knit square so that I could record that video today. So that's one of the things that I was trying to work on, that the Musselburgh hat wasn't getting worked on. And then the other thing that I've been working on that was taking away from that is in my Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. This is from the original patterning, original story, and it's a bag made by me. And the inside, I've shown you guys these bags, but the inside also has the Oompa Loompas. So I love this bag. And inside, I am doing the Bunny Capuzzi Cowl by Noma Knits, which was one of our yarn hop patterns. And the yarn itself is Emma's yarn. And it is 74% baby Surrey and 26% silk. And the colorway is Noma's Knits because it was their yarn from the yarn hop. And I was wanting to make this with that yarn, but I am not a pink person. Pink and purple is just not my thing. Some people absolutely love it and it's great for them, but it's just not my thing. But I wanted to make this because it was beautiful and this was their colorway. I have a reason to make it now. My oldest son, his girlfriend's birthday is the beginning of December. And she is going to school in Philadelphia. So it's kind of chilly back there. So I thought I would make her this beautiful cowl. And he said she liked pink. So I thought, I'll make her this for her birthday. And this is where I am at. It is so soft and fuzzy, and being baby alpaca and silk, even with the holes, it's going to be nice and warm. But it's also there's a 10 row repeat. It's a 9-stitch repeat, a 10-row repeat, and you repeat those 10 rows a total of 12 times. And I have done I think 3 times. So this is going to be more than twice this height. So then once it's around your neck, it's going to have lots of bulk. There is a fly buzzing my head. I know if I go and try and find it and get it, it's going to disappear. Here is the pattern. And she happens to be blonde too, so kind of even gives you more of an idea of how this will look with her. And I think it's absolutely adorable. Here's another way that you can wear it. So I'm excited to have I guess you could say, have a reason for making it. And I have been working on it, trying to get it done. She was actually just here. She came because it was my son's birthday. So she came out for his birthday, and he's going to go see her for her birthday. And, I can see it in the video. Go away, fly. It's probably why my dog's freaking out. I have a dog that's afraid of flies, and he keeps hiding in my kids' bedrooms upstairs. Anyway, I am really excited about making this for her and having that. Oh my goodness. It just keeps. It's making me lose my train of thought. Oh, I'm having a fly fight. I'm going to have to pause this in a minute and try and get it. Anyway, I'm making that. I'm happy. That's what I was going to say. She was just here. I was working on it. She never paid any attention to what I was doing. So look at it. You can see it. It's right there. Go away. Go away, fly. Go away. Leave me alone. My hair is clean. I just washed it. It's still wet. Go away. Okay. I mentioned Wonderland Yarns already. Musselburgh hat. You sold a teague. I forgot to say that. And the last work in progress, which has actually gotten slightly neglected because I've been trying to get these other things done, is the scrappy blanket. Of course, now that fly is nowhere to be seen. Be afraid. Be very afraid. I don't know where it went. But next time it comes back, I'm going to get it. Sorry if you're fly cruelty or something, but the fly is mine. Okay, scrappy blanket. I already had one end to the length that I was wanting it, and I was trying to work on the other end with that yarn that I had. So I was at this point here when I last showed it to you. So I've got this many rows done before I ran out of that yarn right here. There. Uh-oh. He's missing something. My little sheep came off of it. I'll have to try and find that. Anyway, I got to right at that point, and I'm trying to remember how many rows. I put this marker here to remind me of how many rows I had left, and I think at this point I had 10 left. So I didn't have to recount this all the time, but I actually have 2 rows left. I have 2 more rows. So actually, I guess almost 3 rows because that one's only to there. And so I had my son grab me out another yarn. So he grabbed one out. So I have 2 rows left there, and then I'm going to do a border, and then that will be done. This is what he grabbed for me. Don't even know how this happened. This is what he grabbed for me. But I will say, part of the skein was there, and I did actually be able to pull some out of this. And I was like, that's it, I'm done. I'm not getting any more invested into trying to get this undone. And my son's like, Mom, you could do something with that yarn. You could stuff it, use it as stuffing, or you could use it and cut it up into little pieces and card it and make some yarn with it. Mom, you could do a video with it. I don't know. I have it. We'll see. It may just be stuffing. But that's what he pulled out for me. So that's what the blanket will be getting finished with. And if I get the chance now to sit down and work on it, I can get that done. And then maybe I can work on his quay scarf a little bit more, because I usually work on that in the evening when I've been working on this. So quay scarf did not get anything done. Batad got nothing done. Convertible 4-way wrap got nothing done. And Cozy Memories got nothing done. Not to mention all the things on my list that I still need to do. Okay, so on to acquisitions. My sister-in-law and my friend Mary, who you've seen on this channel before when I've gone somewhere, we went to Fibershed. And Fibershed it's a locally sourced. Fibershed's all over, but when they have a Fibershed event, it's all locally sourced. It has to be within a certain amount of miles of the location of the event. So you don't dye with acid dyes, you dye all with natural dyes. The fleece that your wool, the sheep, the goats, whatever that the fleece is coming from, that all has to be with that local. It might be your own animals or animals, that you buy from, but it still has to be locally sourced. So everything that gets sold there is all locally sourced. And we went to this event. It was out in Point Reyes Station. I had never been to it before. Didn't even know that I know Fibershed existed. Did not know this event existed. So Mary had told us about it, and we went out to it, and we actually knew some of the people out there that had booths too. And I took a little bit of video from there that I will show you now. So it was really fun. I enjoyed myself, and my sister-in-law actually really enjoyed herself. There's a lot of times I feel bad because she does not get into the natural stuff yet as much as I do. So I feel bad when she'll go to places like that with me, and I know that she's not enjoying it as much as I am, but she was really enjoying herself out there that day. So I was really happy. And I controlled myself. I let her, we'd go to different booths, and she does this to me all the time. Oh, would you want that for Christmas? Would you want that for, I'm like, no, I'm just showing it to you. Would you want that for Christmas? No, I just thought it was kind of neat and I would show it to you. So she started asking me that while we were out there, and I did end up letting her pick up 2 things. I said, okay, if you want to get me that for Christmas, I will let you. I will like it. So I let her pick up 2 things for me while I was out there. So you're not going to see those till after Christmas because I don't know I'm getting them. But I did pick up this yarn. I was really excited about this. I wanted to take a class last year on it and didn't get the chance to. And this woman actually gives classes and everything. So I'm trying to get her for our guild now, maybe. But her name is Helen Krayenhoff, and she does naturally dyed. But you know, when you get the speckled yarns, you know, kind of like how this is got that speckled color in it. And that's generally done with the acid dyes. And when they get the really tiny speckling, they actually will sprinkle the powdered dye onto the skeins of yarn. Well, it's something that's kind of hard to get when it comes to natural dyeing because of the way you're preparing your dyes and everything. So you just generally have one color. That's it. But she does speckled yarn. And this is all naturally dyed, and it's done similar to eco printing. So if you're familiar with eco printing, where they will take a piece of fabric and lay plant matter onto it, and then they roll it up and they steam it. It's similar to that, but you cannot roll up the yarn when you do that. So it's still a steaming process, but it's different. And the only reason I know that is because there's some information in her card. But the colors that were used in this one, I really liked these colors. You've got like this orange, brown, beige, and green that is in it. See those little bits of green too? This was dyed with Japanese indigo, gaillardia, and redwood. And I had to look up gaillardia, and it's a pretty flower, and I actually recognized it when I looked it up. So I knew the Japanese indigo. I now know what the gaillardia is. And then redwood, and I'm so curious as to how she did it with the redwood. But it's very pretty. The fly's back. Oh, you want to sit on my yarn? Oh, you flew away. Let's try to see if she had, I think it's just, okay, so it says this is a 2-ounce, 240 yards of 100% climate beneficial fingering weight wool that comes from Lanny's Lana High in the mountains of northeastern California. The Rambouillet sheep thrive in the cool, dry climate and produce very soft and comfortable wool. So it's Rambouillet. Okay, so it landed on my head, and I handed my son the salt gun. I'm like, I don't care if I get salt in my hair. Get this fly. It flew away. He's been trying to hunt it through the house, and it's evading us. He had to carry the dog from his room because it's hiding in his room. It's the noisy one, the yappy one that barks at everything. He is afraid of flies. So he took him to go outside, then brought him back in. He went straight back to his room. So I'm sure that's why he's been acting weird the last couple days, is because this fly is eluding us. And we've only occasionally seen it. Now all of a sudden it's decided it's going to bug me. Anyway, Are you kidding me? Now that he walked away, it's come back. I got this yarn. I really like this yarn. I'm going to do something with this yarn. I don't know exactly what yet. I might pair it with something that I have dyed and spun myself. Not sure, but I got that. I really like it. But that was my only thing that I actually bought myself while we were there. I was very proud of myself. My only other acquisition for the week was same three of us, my sister-in-law, Mary, and myself. We had gone for lunch during the week, and we went to this fun bakery I found recently called Criminal Bakery. Their food is so good. It is criminal. It's simply criminal. Very, very good. But it's not far from one of our local yarn stores, so we took a little detour, went to the yarn store, and they had the Toft kits. So I've been seeing a lot of other YouTubers talking about Toft. It's a UK-based company, and they have a lot of the little crochet kits. And they had these cute ones that were in these little bags. And I just had to have it because it's a poinsettia, and I love poinsettias. I love Christmas. I love poinsettias. See, my favorite things when it comes to iconic things with Christmas would be nutcrackers, snow globes, poinsettias, and Christmas in general. So I thought it was super cute, and it was the only one they had that was a poinsettia. They also had a Venus flytrap, and they had like chrysanthemum, daffodil, rose, and some other flowers, but this I thought was really cute. So most of theirs comes in a little box, like a lot of them do, but this one came in the cute little bag because they were all plants. And in your little bag, this one has two little balls of the green. It's a DK weight. And then it has 3 balls of the red. Let's see what it says. 100% wool made in the UK. That's all it says. Then there's also just these little tiny pieces that you need for, let's see, I'm going to guess it's the eyes. Yeah, I think it's the eyes. Keep bumping that. Then it comes with a crochet hook. Cute little Toft crochet hook. It feels really nice, and it has a short end, so I like that. So I will probably utilize that with it. And you've got your instructions. So here's a bigger picture. I think it's so stinking cute, and I can't wait to actually do it. And they have all your instructions. They do have this little American flag. Come on. So I'm thinking the ones that get sent to the United States have the little American flag so that you do know that they are the US terms and not UK terms. And little getting started thing. And I thought this was really kind of nice. They put a ruler right in the middle right here. So if you have something in this kit that you need to work to a certain length, you don't have to worry about whether or not you had the measuring tape. So that was my other acquisition. And of course, it's added to my list of things to do, but it is something I want to do right away because I would like to have it for Christmas. And since my 2 fall projects will probably not be done, they may end up being like finished for next fall. But I would like to get at least one Christmas thing that I'm wanting to do. I think it would be super cute. So, okay. My husband has been working on more whirls. And they're over there. I'll show them to you later. A lot like the others. He has bought some new wood lately. He's got some bowls in the works and different things. And I thought I grabbed these out. I just took them out of storage so I could set them up. And you guys, if you've been here with me since last year, you will have seen these before. I made these last year. So I've got the little pumpkin with the leaf on it. I've got the little gourd. He's even got his little ends to him. And then there was this one with the little curly Q. And I actually did a video on how to make this one last year. So I will try and remember and link that down below. If for some reason I forget, it's under my tutorials tab, but I did these ones last year and I still absolutely love them. You know, you're not always happy with how things come out, but I absolutely love how these guys came out. So that's something you can go back and watch those, and you could make some yourself and put them on your table. So I think that is it for this week. It has been a little bit of a longer one. I'm sorry, but I think I tend to do that most weeks. So I have 2 more videos I'm going to be working on today. I'm going to be working on the Wonderland yarns, and then the bonus video this week is going to be that new Red Heart all-in-one yarn that is the flower square. And I'm really kind of excited to see how this one works, considering the fact I had so much trouble with their regular granny square one. But that yarn is now in the stores. I ordered mine online because it wasn't in the stores yet, but when I was in Joann's yesterday, it was in the stores. So I am going to record that video today too, and that will be a bonus video. I'm thinking I might upload it on Monday. So we'll have the Wonderland yarns come out on Wednesday, and I think I'll have the Granny Square one come out on Monday. So you get a bonus video this week. So make sure like and subscribe, and click that notify if you'd like to be notified when those videos come up. I am working really hard to try and hit that 1,000 subscriber mark. My son and I were going through analytics on my channel the other day, and a lot of the people who watch my videos are not actually subscribed. So if you are one of those, go subscribe. And if you like to watch me, make sure and subscribe. It does make a difference. Once I hit 1,000 subscribers and so many watch hours, then I can start to actually make some money from this channel. It's very, very little to start with. I mean, I literally would probably make would probably be making within cents to maybe like $9 in a month. So it's hardly anything, but every little bit helps just with the supplies of when I buy supplies for the channel. So anyway, if you're one of those people and you like to watch me but you're not subscribed, make sure and go subscribe. So I hope you guys have a great weekend and a great next week, and we'll see you all again soon. Bye.